Welcome to MES e-learning channel. Today we are going to discuss about emotional intelligence, which is the key to personal and professional success. Now, why do we call it as a key to personal and professional success? Because it is just not enough, it is just not sufficient to have a great IQ, but EI is equally and more than equally important, which helps to recognize, understand and manage our own emotions. Now, managing emotions is an art because emotions are just something which happens spontaneously in a jiffy, and if that is not managed in a proper manner, it might cause a lot of health hazards to oneself, as well as it might cause a lot of complications to people who are around us. This is a critical skill. Now, why do we call it a critical skill? Because it is something which we cannot read and understand, but we have to read ourselves. It is not something which we read in books and remember and implement. It is something that we understand about ourselves when our situation is very normal. Behaving in a very good way is not a big deal. But when situations go out of hand, the way you control your emotions is something that matters, and that is why it is called as a critical skill. This can unlock your personal and professional growth, and it definitely leads to stronger relationships, and that in turn would enhance the career opportunities. Understanding emotions, recognizing and managing your own feelings. So what are the ways in which one could understand one's own emotion? This is possible in three most important ways. The first one is self-awareness. Having a deep understanding of your own emotions helps you to understand what are the triggers, because for each one of us there is something called as a trigger aspect. So if we let someone else know about what is our weakness, they will know the trigger, and they will know exactly when to trigger so that we lose our cool or lose our temper. Such trigger, we should understand which is that usually triggers us. For some people, if it could be anything, it could be just words. For some people, it could be actions. Certain words said, they get triggered. So certain actions made, they get triggered. So we have to understand which is our trigger and make sure that even if someone triggers us, we just remain calm. Emotional regulation. There are certain techniques to manage our emotional regulations. So it is like some people might prefer staying calm, some might just leave the place if it is causing a lot of tension, and some might even drink water. It depends. So you have to understand which is the one quality or one thing that you can choose, which will help you to regulate your emotion. Emotional expression. You have to communicate your feelings in a constructive manner better. It will be better if you could have your emotion in place rather than shouting or creating a lot of chaos. Empathy. Empathy is developing the ability to understand and relate to others. Very important. Unless and until we understand ourselves, there is no scope of we understanding the others. The first one in empathy is perspective talking. Put yourself in someone else's shoes, understanding their thoughts, feelings, and experience. Compassion. Compassion has to come from within because it cannot be acted out, it just cannot be superficial. Emotional attunement. Tune into the emotional states of those around you. So this comes when we are a good listener. We develop the attitude or attribute of listening to people. That helps us to have a deep understanding of them. Social skills. Now, communicating effectively and building strong relationships. The first one is active listening. We need to engage fully in any kind of conversations and show genuine interest and understanding. Now, this means when someone is conversing with us, we might have similar experiences of what exactly the person is trying to speak to us. Rather than immediately sharing our experience, we could listen to them, ask them few questions, understand what they're trying to say, show that we are interested in what they are speaking, and then if we share our thoughts and feelings, then that would be better. That is what is exactly called as active listening. Conflict resolution. We have to navigate through disagreements and find mutual benefit, which is going to be a solution to both sides. Collaboration is working effectively with others. Now, working effectively with others is actually a tough thing because not all of us have the same mindset or the same kind of a wavelength to understand each other. So, managing people, understanding how they are, and then working with them is important. Self-awareness, knowing your strengths and weaknesses and triggers. Strengths, something that we have to understand about ourselves. What is our strength? So when we understand our strength, we will know how to use them to our advantage. When we know our limitations, that is called as weaknesses. So we can actually mitigate our limitations and weaknesses if only we know what our weaknesses are. Emotional triggers, in order to understand ourselves more better, we need to understand how we would behave in certain situations. That would help us to stop getting triggered at any given point of time. Next is adaptability, responding positively to change and uncertainty. Change is something which obviously constantly keeps changing. So we have to embrace a change with open mindset rather than having a closed thought process. We need to always be flexible in our approach so that we can suit ourselves according to the changing circumstances and needs. Resilience, when we bounce back from our setbacks, it helps us to look at life in a positive manner. Motivation and cultivating a positive mindset and achieving a goal. The very first thing is to set a goal. Goal setting helps us to establish very clear, achievable objectives that aligns with our own values and inspirations. Goals should be at a shorter duration in the next few days, next few months, how we are going to deal with certain stuff. Positive self-talk, always talking negative things about ourselves will spoil our own thoughts about ourselves. So self-affirming and speaking in a positive manner helps us boost our confidence. And the third, last but not the least, perseverance. There are a lot of obstacles that we might face in our lives. Remaining focused and doing our work continuously helps us to achieve the desired outcomes. The benefits of emotional intelligence: improved relationships, career advancements, and overall being. First of all, it helps to maintain stronger relationships. When we have emotional intelligence, when we are emotionally intelligent, we exactly understand what the others are trying to speak to us and trying to emote to us. That helps us to develop deeper connections with people around us. Career success, obviously, when we're able to understand people around us, we can climb the ladder of career, because we obviously know what our organization is going to expect from us. Improve well-being, we have greater life satisfaction and we have reduced stress that helps us to build the overall self. Now in this topic we were looking at what emotional intelligence is and how we can embrace change and how we have to develop emotional intelligence by understanding more about ourselves. That's it about this slide, emotional intelligence, and thank you.